can call it what you want. Karma, reap what you sow, whatever. Every culture knows. And that's what it is to be God-fearing. Fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. Fear nothing else. In fact, the only fear I do, I can feel God. I can feel ashamed of my works as dirty rags. And I look at these haughty, full of themselves people out there who have no idea what they're part of, have no idea what this planet is, a giant testing ground for our spirits. That's what it is. Look at the fantasticness all around you. What do you think this is? This is a test. You shouldn't be worried about getting arrested and tortured and killed. You shouldn't be worried. You should be worried before all this starts that you're not out there warning as many people as you can right now about what's coming down the road. Because let me tell you, once they drop the hammer, ladies and gentlemen, and once the night really falls, we ain't seen nothing yet. Now, the articles are all at Infowars.com. I'm going to get to it later in the article, and we'll have open phones in the next hour. And we have a Gen 21 guest fighting the globalist standardized takeover, joining us for 30 minutes the third hour. Then we'll continue with news. But when we come back from break, I'm going to play most of this and then break it down. CNBC admits we're all slaves to global government run by bankers. That's at Infowars.com. And here's a quote. We are absolutely slaves to central bankers. See, they're like, oh, there is a global government, just overnight. And they're now, again, for several years, there's different stratas of political classes. But in the Financial Times of London, in The Economist, in all these other elitist publications, that's for the sub-elite, the professor type, the financial newscaster, and they're all smart enough to know, oh, they'll move from the regional level if they sing off that piece of music. See, most people just do whatever it takes to go up the ladder, to have a better house at a better golf course and a better trophy wife. And they sell their, a euthanized grandma, you don't have to mess with it. Euthanized dad and ma. They're just pure mercenaries. They don't care. They're into themselves. They're totally empty people. And so the talking point for about 3-4 years is, yeah, there's world government run by bankers, and they'll implode the world economy if you don't give them what they want. Might as well join with them. And the average yuppie at that level goes, yeah, Alex, it's real. I'm joining with it. Oh, that's a real good idea. I'll use a movie analogy. It's like Gandalf to Saruman. He goes, we must join with Sauron. And he says, join with Sauron? Are you crazy? A new time is upon us. There's a shift. You must join it to be destroyed. That's the idea. And that's why they've now reached the point to the mainline audience. There's a global government run by bankers. Yes, they don't want national sovereignty. And yes, you're going to take 4 shots. And yes, the army's standing by if you don't like it. They're getting ready to use all this power. We've got a gigantic news blitz on incredible developments in the economy, you name it, coming up. Troops all over the country doing DWI checkpoints, regular Army, regular Marines. Now they are saying in St. Louis, oh, we like the military here. Other countries have it. It'll lower crime. Big, heavy armored vehicles and tanks. They actually have treaded tanks going down the streets, which I didn't even know that till I watched some other newscasts. That absolutely ruins the streets. And it's totally there to acclimate everybody. And I've talked to police, not just the police officers on air yesterday from St. Louis, but off air. And it is actually waking up a bunch of them. Yeah, they're telling them they're going to be hit by a terror attack for sure in October, and that it's going to be domestic militias. Come on, police. How many times have you seen government provocateurs some action? If the feds blow up the St. Louis, Missouri police station or something, you better know they did it. Because who runs the feds? The foreign, ruthless bankers. It's in the New York Times that the UN lines up people in Africa and mows them down to take their property. Here is the article. The video's up at Infowars.com. CNBC admits we're all slaves to global government run by bankers. Here's a quote. We're absolute slaves to central banks. And again, it's already been in all the big elite financial publications. Well, it was in those 30 years ago, and they set up the Trilateral Commission 35 years ago. They admitted the whole plan. Global government, 3 regions, derivatives, implode the economies, get them into debt, fraudulently take over, stealth integration. And it was publicly published because they know the public doesn't report on it because the mainstream media doesn't cover it. But when do you know they're getting ready to drop the hammer? When they start having thousands of drills with the military everywhere, and you go to the high school baseball game or football game or basketball game, and there's regular Army or Marines there searching people, you're getting close. When you drive up to TSA checkpoints on the highway, you're getting close. It's starting nationwide. When they order hundreds of armored pillboxes, you're getting close. When they order 450 million rounds of hollow point 40 cal, you're getting close. When they start going, yeah, we won't let you leave the country with your money, or we'll ban your travel extrajudicially, or we'll ban you buying guns outside of law, you're getting close. When they start getting ready for all these giant wars and the Russians start threatening to nuke, you're getting close. Let's go ahead and go to part of this clip. Again, they're uncloaking. They don't uncloak until they're about to fire. Use another movie analogy. It seems to work. When do the Klingons fire? They have to turn off their cloaking device. They just uncloaked. Oh, what do you think they're about to do? Unless we scream bloody murder and point out what's happening, they're going to acclimate. And that yuppie that just thinks they're on the winning team because they say, yes, 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 the system, who's been calling you a kook, warning them about world government run by central bankers, they're now going to go, oh, well, yeah, Bob, it is world government run by them. They're the experts. And at that point, you got to go, Bob, you idiot. They imploded things by design to get control. I told you I was right. You were the fool. Apologize to me. Because let me tell you something. Once this thing goes into the next phase, they're setting this control grid up because they're going to create a total hardcore collapse level depression to reorganize society. Do you understand that? Because you've got to get that yuppie out of their trance of thinking they're on the winning team. It's like a child in make-believe. That's what Stockholm Syndrome is about a third of people. It's actually gotten worse in studies. People are getting more weak-minded. If you're in captivity, U.S. soldiers held by the North Koreans, you name it, about a third start worshiping their abusers and start defending them. And they do that because of make-believe. People want to make believe that, well, I'm with the New World Order because I'm going along with it. No, you're not, you idiot. Well, I'm with the New World Order because No, you get the deadly shots, you get the fluoride, your kid gets cancer, your wife gets cancer, you get cancer and die young. You're not part of the power structure. You're not part of the New World Order team. Get it through your maggot-filled head. Listen to me, you idiots that serve this system, okay? Listen to me. You are going to wish to God you'd have done something now if we aren't able to stop what's coming down the road at us. You cowards out there have no idea what we're facing. If you could see it from deep study, I've got the whole image of this thing, 3D, rolling at us. And let me tell you something. If you could see it, if you'd really studied this, you'd know all you could do was fight it. Because there's nowhere to run. There's nowhere to go. The only action is defeating this. The only action is resisting it. The only action is busting your hind end to get the word out on it. This thing is pure death. I'll get to the clip when we come back. And all the other clips. And cops calling up, breaking down, crying because they're being told they're getting ready to call in airstrikes against the American people. And the cops started crying. He doesn't know he's compartmentalized. What he said isn't a secret. They've got to get all this ready in policy. It's public. The Secretary of the Army says they're preparing airstrikes on us.
We're on the march. The empire.
Countdown. A world government run by psychopathic control freaks whose religion is eugenics. Poisoning and dumbing you down, destroying our families, bringing in absolute, pure, and total enslavement. We don't have a choice. Kneel and be run over by the globalists or struggle against them now. All right, enough of my talk. Let's go ahead and go to this video. If you want to watch it as a radio listener, we're about to play the audio. It's up at Infowars.com. And I've asked Kurt Nimmo to add some of the other examples of where they're suddenly going, oh, yeah, there's a world government, and it's authoritarian. You know, the Financial Times of London, the Economist magazine, they're all saying it. It's good to be authoritarian. The bankers know best. And then we just point out, these are the people that have engineered all this. I'm also going to get him to post under it the Obama Deception and Fall of the Republic. Obama Deception's 3.5 years old. And it's prophetic. Everything in it happened exactly as we broke down. Really, it's not prophetic. The globalists have a public blueprint, but it seems prophetic to folks. It freaks them out. And then Fall of the Republic, which was part 2 of that. And it's got everything you need to know. You got friends and family that you can send them this clip and go, here's your God, mainstream media, admitting that we're run by foreign banks, that we pay our taxes to them. And then here's Alex Jones 3.5 years ago saying exactly how they do it and what would unfold next and giving you the list of countries as they'd be imploded. And then each time they'd say, oh, we'll save you if you just give us trillions more, this country. I mean, I don't know, do people want to know exactly what's going on? I mean, or is it, I'm not going to worry about it, I'm going to go watch a basketball game. You know, LeBron James or whatever. Okay, great. I mean, if you like globalists ruling over you and thinking you're idiots and being able to get away with any crime they want and building FEMA camps and re-education centers, and you think, well, I'll just go along with things, I'll be okay. They're gearing up for a total collapse. And then I saw a reply video to one of the videos I did on preparations for martial law. And the guy's like, Alex, you've got it backwards. Yes, they're preparing for martial law, but because they want to protect us during a collapse. As if he was telling me something I didn't know. I've told you since 1998 with precision, been on air since 95, with economists that they were going to sell trillions in derivatives fraudulently, too big to fail, and then implode the economy, posing as the saviors in the emergency reorganization that is Agenda 21. And we've talked about Agenda 21 now since I was on air 17 years ago. I get calls and emails going, you never cover Agenda 21. Have you heard of that? As people wake up to this. This is the emergency receivership bankruptcy plan, but we weren't really in bankruptcy. We were maneuvered into it. Our debt's $15 trillion to the bankers, whose debt is 1.5 quadrillion, 1,500 trill. Cities are going bankrupt and going into corporate receivership, and they say there's no more city council in Michigan and Rhode Island. A foreign corporation owns the town now and can take your property if they want and raise taxes 500% if they want. I mean, it's right out of RoboCop or something. You know, where Detroit goes bankrupt so the foreign corporation takes over. This is exactly what's going on. I'm going to say it again very slowly. The United States was taken over and conquered by a hostile corporate takeover. That's what the New World Order is. The British intelligence in 1922 set up the Council on Foreign Relations publicly to merge the United States with the British Empire that was about to implode. They don't. Countless globalists have written history books, like Carol Quigley, Georgetown political scientist, admitting the whole thing. This is not my opinion. Everything's happening exactly as I've said it would happen because they admit it. It's their plan. It's like if I drive out of here and get on I-35 and point my car north, I will go to Dallas. And when I get to Dallas 4 hours later, it is not because I'm psychic. It's a road. I have a road map. I've been there. I know where it's going. It is going to re-education camps, forced inoculations, cancer rates 20,000 times. I mean, if they're up 10,000% with kids on average, 2,000 to 3,000 depending on the cancer with adults. I mean, they're killing us. I have all those documents. They're spiking the water, the food. They're murdering us. The corn we eat that's GMO kills the bugs that eat it, but they say it's safe for us to eat and causes all the rats that eat it to have organ failure. Do you get it?